Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex Perez here with English Sports Center, and it's that time of the week again, your weekly fishing report. And let's get started with what's going on around in the Mid-Bay area, Upper Bay, just the whole area pretty much. So let's get started with your favorite and one only rockfish. Rock fishing right now, it's kind of everything's spread out right now. There's multiple typical spots that you will fish that you could find fish on. Most of the bigger fish, like I mentioned last week, are still holding up north. Post Island, drifting eels has been one of the areas where I've seen some of the bigger fish come out of, but still kind of hit or miss. Hodges Bar, just like last year, is holding some fish for you guys chunking, live lining, jigging, a little bit bigger quality size fish on that area. Now as you move south to the 7-foot knoll, that area kind of has been hit or miss. Early mornings and late evenings have been the ticket there. Top water, live lining will work if you anchor around the area there, and they're producing some decent sized fish. Love Point has been kind of, slowed down here in the last few weeks. Rock Hall, Swan Point area kind of has been the same way around hit or miss. And as you move south, you'll find a lot more break-in fish, but a lot of smaller fish between, 15, even little guys, to maybe a couple keeper-sized fish. But with that saying, you will find bluefish and Spanish mackerel mixed in with them. Bay Bridge has been holding some fish, but it definitely has slowed down. I know you guys said, drive past the bridge every day, has seen less and less boats, especially charter boats in there. Everybody's just moving throughout the area. Thomas Point has been holding some fish there for you guys, throwing top water in the evenings or early mornings. And, live line, like I mentioned, pretty much works everywhere. Just remember, there's some bluefish around down that area. You will have to, either use stinger hooks or just get extra bait. Bottom fishing in general, what's biting is, you're still finding spot in the same typical areas that, you will find a spot in sandy bottom, hard bottom areas, 15, 20 foot of water like Hackett's Point. That's been one area that you can go a little bit in shallow and catch some spot with fish bites or bloodworms. Perch fishing has been pretty productive here lately. With fish, being pulled out of the creeks with spinner baits, especially the perch pounder that we always talk about. MEPS, gold-bladed baits apparently have been a lot better, and we've been getting reports of pink actually being a really good color for fishing in the creeks right now. As we get into this month, those perch will kind of start moving a little bit to the lower parts of the rivers. So remember, fish the mouth of the creeks, anywhere between 2-6 foot of water around the docks or any kind of rock structure, and you will find perch. The famous Chesapeake rig we showed you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it. If not, look it up on our Facebook. We have a video there. Any kind of oyster bed, or even if you just find them along the channel edges, just drift them down just by themselves, or a little curly tail, and you will find perch on that, on that structure or just on the ledges. Bluefish, we've seen kind of reports of some bigger sized bluefish and some smaller sized bluefish moving throughout the area. Most of the guys in the charter boats are picking them up trolling spoons, like this little guy here. This is more of like an inline or billy bar kind of style rig that works perfectly for this time of the year. Just represents a perfect little school of anchovy baits, that they're eating out there. You control this kind of fast, not too fast like Spanish mackerel speed, but you will be able to catch bluefish, rock, and even some Spanish mackerel on them. And this is double drop, so you have two little spoons trailing the main T-source here, and you can pull some fish with that. That's a great rig for this time of the year. Like I said, multi-species rig. Just represents what they're eating out there. Trolling wise, for blue, Spanish mackerel, and rock, like I said, if you're in this area here in the Mid-Bay area, trolling from Tahali's all the way down to Bloody Point has been pretty productive, or even around Poplar Island, like we've been talking about for the past few weeks. That is still going on, guys. This is not going to change. This pattern's going to get better. The rockfish, as the weather cools down, it's just going to push them down towards this area again and in the mouth of the rivers. So as of right now, if you're a shallow water fisherman and you want to start fishing rockfish in shallow, Thomas Point House from shore has been productive. That's what I hear from all the guys coming in here. Top water lures, obviously a little bit bigger, so you can make a long cast from there. But even if you're fishing any kind of point structure with rocks, like the Severn River, any of those points, top water baits like this are going to be your best bet. Classic one, the bomber donk. It's a spook bait, so kind of, you know, walk the dog bait and move side to side. And then, you know, I know you guys fish a lot of smack. This is a different, little bit smaller size from Berkeley that just represents, you know, like a copy of the smack. It has rattles, it has everything on there, a feather. So just a different option and a little bit smaller profile that will help you catch fish out there. Other than that, just a paddle tail, 4-inch paddle tail on a jig head. Just swim it through the flats, points. You can even kind of jig with them. That will work pretty good. White's always a good color. And just another little tip for you guys trolling out there. It's still not, you know, too late to troll hoses. Those guys, you can troll them all year long. I mean, spring, summer, fall, they work. Red for this time of the year, best bet. You know, put them on an inline sinker down low, and you will catch, you know, bluefish, rockfish, and they're durable. Crabbing wise has been picking up. We've seen a lot of big crabs coming out of the area right now. It seems like, you know, your evening hours, early morning, like always, have been the best. And there's some jumbos out there on the western shore now. Any of these rivers like Magothy, Severn, Patapsco, go out there and, you know, set up some traps. Chicken necks, outgoing tides apparently having a little bit better. So check those areas out if you're on the western shore, because they're there. You know, this is the time of year when it picks up, so that's going to be your best bet for that. So like I said, you guys, pier fishing, it's been kind of hit or miss throughout the area too for keeper rockfish. I know a lot of guys have been saying they're catching catfish again, but that's just, you know, nothing different. You know, you're going to have to go through the catfish to get to the rockfish. Soft crabs are still the best bait for you guys, followed by a cut LY. And that's going to be your best bet there. So remember, guys, fishing is going to keep getting better. Right now it's kind of hit or miss for some of the bigger size rockfish, but it's going to get better at the end of the month here. So that's it for your fishing report, guys. Make sure you tag us on all your pictures, Instagram, Facebook, give us a like, follow, and then you guys have a good one.